Damn.
Okay, please have your number. Just please, 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 please.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah?
Fellas, are you feeling nervous or unsure when it comes to approaching girls? Do you want to learn how to do it with confidence and not be labeled as creepy or be labeled as that guy? Well, let me tell you, fellas, this video is for you, okay? I'm going to go over everything not to do when cold approaching girls, okay? And I'm going to save the best one for last. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. I'm going to go over mistakes that I see a lot of guys make where it's basically like shooting themselves in the foot, okay? So stay tuned for that. But first, I have to go over why girls perceive guys as being creepy, okay? Oftentimes a girl will say, yeah, he really creeped me out. Oh my God, that guy is so creepy. What's wrong with him? Right? Creepy is just a way, for the most part, of not being socially calibrated, right? As being perceived as not being socially calibrated, okay? So that all stems from eye contact. I think eye contact is the king. There's a couple other things I can dive into, but it all stems from not giving proper eye contact, right? If a guy comes up to me and approaches me and he's looking around the room like this, right? Hey, how are you? I'm actually trying to sell you a new car, right? It's very performance based, and if he's avoiding eye contact, I'm thinking he's trying to hide something. He's shifty. He's nervous, right? These are all negative body language signs, right? It's automatically going to make me think that, that guy is not confident, and it's going to make me have my guard up, right? So master that. Master eye contact, okay? And you also don't want to be staring into her soul and never look away. Look away every now and then, right? But the majority of the time you're staring. Well, not staring, but you're making eye contact, right? Like a horse with your blinders on. You're not distracted by what's going on over here, what's going on over there. You're not letting your mind take control of your thoughts in a way where it's negative to what you're doing, okay? So once you master that, then you can go on to the body language, the confident body language. Hands out of the pockets, okay? Shoulders back, chest up, chin in the air, right? You're not closed off. You're not looking around, like I said, okay? Now, just so I can stay on track, I'm going to bust out my handy-dandy notepad because this video would be an hour long if I just went off. So, where were we? That's right. So, that's being creepy. That's what it really comes down to, okay? So, you guys definitely want to cater your approach dependent on where you are. Let me explain. If you guys aren't familiar with a direct style of approach or an indirect style of approach, I'm going to briefly summarize. A direct would be like, hey, you were cute, I had to come up and say hi, right? You're stating your intentions right there. An indirect would be like, hey, do you know where the nearest Starbucks is, right? You're not really showing that intent by doing that, okay? Now, these are very successful, both styles of approaches, but you definitely want to cater your style dependent on where you are. For example, an indirect style of approach would be beneficial at a place where you are going to be on a consistent basis, right? So, first and foremost, when you're deciding how to approach a girl, ask yourself, okay, is there a possibility I'm going to see this girl again, right? Whether it's, a university class or your local gym or your workplace, right? It wouldn't be beneficial to go up to a girl who you work with and say, hey, I thought you were cute, I had to come up and say hi, right? Because if, let's say she does reject you, then you're just going to be sitting around her, for 40 hours a week, looking over like, hey, remember me? I'm the guy that you rejected, right? Like, you have to be a little more indirect, right? The same thing goes for university or gyms, right? So what I would suggest that you guys do there is be a little indirect, right? When you're going to, be indirect, right? So you go up, you speak to the girl, and then you just ask her, whatever you notice that she's doing, right? Oh, wow, you really fly through those papers there, like your penmanship is just phenomenal, right? And then, give her a subtle compliment, but don't get too direct about it. right? And also end the conversation first, right? So you initiate the conversation. And guys, this is just something I'm coming up with off the top of my head, all right? You can even just go up and say, hi, I haven't seen you around. I'm Kelvin H. Hughes III, nice to meet you, right? If you're at work. But, yeah, you don't want to be too upfront, right? Leave the conversation, say, I have to get going now. It's nice to meet you. Introduce yourself and bounce. Then the next time you see her, you can build on what you guys talked about, right? Oh, did you see that latest episode of what Game of Thrones? I'm dating myself, but hey, did you, whatever the case is, you're following up with the conversation. Same thing goes with when you're at a gym, right? If it's at your local gym, then be indirect, right? Oh, hey, I haven't seen you around before. Nice to meet you. My name is this. And then you can just say, what are you, training for the Olympics or something? Make a funny joke. All right, I got to get back to my workout. Do you usually come here? All right, I'll probably see you around soon. Bye. Boom. Then, oh, hey, look who it is. What are the chances of seeing you here, right? Have those follow-up conversations. You don't want to close the deal on the first conversation, right? Because girls talk. Fellas, girls talk, okay? So just know that if you're talking to a girl, 3 of her friends will probably know that, right? Oh, and word gets out. So you can tell that I'm just completely coming up with this stuff off the top of my head. So if you guys like this style of video, make sure you let me know in the comments below, as opposed to the quick edits, okay? Bingo, bango, bongo. So yeah, you're talking to a girl at the gym, and then the problem is if you make it a habit of just going around and hitting on every girl when you go there on a regular basis, word will get out and you'll be known as that guy, right? One girl rejects you, she tells her friends who may go to that gym, and then they'll be prepared. Their walls will be up, their guard will be high, and it's not a good move, right? However, if you're in a space that you don't normally go to, let's say you're just popping into a cafe shop to check it out for the first time, you can be a lot more direct here. Why? Because you don't have to worry about words spreading around about this guy, right? Because, again, girls talk, right? So before you go up and approach a girl, think about that. Think, okay, should I be direct or indirect here? Am I going to see this girl again? Is there a good probability that I'm going to run into this girl again? If not, you can just go up and be direct, right? Now, that doesn't mean go up and say, hey, you have a really nice ass, I want to f*** you. Because that is not a turn on, fellas. So, be a little more direct in the sense that, you're just stating your intentions. Hi, I thought you were cute. I had to come up and say hi. Or, hi, I wanted to meet you real quick. I was wondering why we haven't met yet. Whatever the case is. You're conveying to her that you want to meet her, right? You're not going up and speaking about the weather for half an hour, right? Although you can be indirect, approaching a girl on the street. However, I recommend that you transition that slowly to being direct, to showing intent. And guys, if you're struggling with showing intent and just being friendly in a conversation, you're going to get put in the friend zone, okay? So I've made a video right here. This is how you guys can separate yourself and get you out of the friend zone by having a flirty conversation.